Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. We all know what's going to happen on a Friday. I'll probably see you 3 times today, or late today, or something. Who knows? A lot of times in the last year plus, I've mentioned security. I've talked about if you have any way possible to get out of the city, do it. Okay. Some of you guys have. Some of you guys say it's not possible, whatever it is. I get it. All right. But, you know, forewarned is the only thing I'll say here. Now, I'll give you this. Yesterday, Veterans Day, Mrs. P and I decided to run into Knoxville. A couple of things I wanted to buy, stuff I've got to make. I'd go to Rural King, the prepper store, if you will. And while we were there, we figured, okay, we'll stop in at O'Charlie's and, they give a veterans meal. So we had lunch at O'Charlie's, I got to eat for free. So they still got $31 out of us, but that's fine. They do it because they want to bring business in. But the point to that is, you guys know I live out in the middle of nowhere, so we have a good hour to drive to get into town. And it gives Mrs. P and I a good chance to talk, and we discuss what's going on in the world and, what was going on with Belarus and the pipeline and, all sorts of different things, okay? But the one comment that she made as we were driving was kind of interesting. She said, haven't heard anything from BLM or Antifa lately. I wonder what's up. That was a good point. And the reason that got brought up is because we got into the conversation about the Kyle Rittenhouse case, the kid up in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Well, this is where I say security, get out of the cities and everything like that. This is how it all ties together. All right. I worry about you guys that live in some of the bigger cities. And I'm going to touch on 3 of them here: Chicago, New York, and LA. So it probably covers, if you had DFW in there, it'd probably be the 4 big ones, East Coast, West Coast, South, and Midwest. But Dallas gets a reprieve today. So what's happened to BLM and Antifa? Well, let's start with Chicago. With the whole Rittenhouse deal, which all things look like he should be completely acquitted. Now, when you have one of the prosecution witnesses come up and say, yeah, I pointed a weapon at him, it just made a clear case for self-defense. And I mean, even when the prosecuting attorney puts his head in his hands, that, you pretty much know what's up. So, not saying I have any information or whatever, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Rittenhouse is going to get acquitted. So, what is the Chicago Police Department's response to this? Kenosha being close enough to Chicago. Okay. They have canceled all regularly scheduled days off starting today and all through the weekend in anticipation of civil unrest this weekend, because Rittenhouse is probably going to get acquitted. So what does that mean? Burning, looting, murdering, all the same stuff that we saw in Kenosha last year. Yippee. Okay. Again, Chicago, you've been under Democrat leadership for 50 freaking years. Plus, more than that. I mean, hell, when Richard Daley finally come in? That was late 60s, wasn't it? When he was mayor. The city's turning into more and more and more and more and more of a cesspool. And I mean, go back to Harold Washington or Jane Byrne or, any of them. And it just gets progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. But that's what you get when you have Democrat leadership. And every city can pretty much tell you the same thing, because every American city's turning into a cesspool, and every American city's having problems with BLM, Antifa, burning, looting, and murdering. Okay. So Chicago is anticipating riots. Sounds like a good way to go into Thanksgiving to me. But not to be outdone, let's go to New York City. All right. Now, as you guys know, New York City and I feel for all of you guys that live there. You guys just elected a new mayor. Kind of finally got rid of the clown de Blasio. Okay, not that he could run anyway. I mean, he was term limited out. But you elected Eric Adams. If I remember correctly, about 75% of the city voted for Eric Adams, Democrat. Not that it's any stretch of the imagination that New York could elect a Democrat, but gee, the last time the city was safe was when Giuliani was mayor, and oh, he was a Republican. Yeah, okay. Well, Eric Adams has something going for him. You know, he's an ex-police chief, okay? And what did he run on? Bringing back some of the plainclothes detectives to get rid of, bring crime down and everything like that. What was BLM's response? Hank Newsom, who is a co-founder of BLM New York, okay, has promised New York City riots, fire, and bloodshed if Eric Adams brings back the law enforcement policies that worked in the past. Okay. Hank Newsom wants the continuation of a de Blasio debacle because, hey, gun crime is going up in New York. Oh, but they have some really strict gun laws there, but gun crime is going up. Go figure. Okay. So Black Lives Matter is saying, no, the cops can't police. They can't arrest people. We don't want them undercover. We don't want them blending in, so the criminals can go about and do their things without a problem. Because otherwise, we're going to start riots, we're going to start fire, and we're going to start bloodshed. But, they're such a political organization. I think the word that you're looking for starts with a T. Okay. I'm going to go into LA. All right. LA's got a big problem. Again, remember, LA gun laws. It's what? 10-day waiting period to buy one. Same thing as what was going on in the Supreme Court case where you have to show just cause for a reason to get a CCW, whatever it would be. LAPD came out yesterday advising its citizens when they are being robbed to cooperate and comply. Okay, this is what came out. Due to an increase in street robberies, Robbery Homicide Division has become aware of an ongoing crime trend in follow home robberies. In other words, they see you leaving the grocery store, they follow you home, and then rob you there so you're not in a public place. Okay. Suspects have been locating victims in Los Angeles, following them, and then committing the robberies as the victim arrives home or at their business. These crimes have occurred throughout the city of Los Angeles as well as in the neighboring cities. Different suspects have been identified and arrested for these types of crimes. But they come up to say later, if you are being robbed, do not resist the robbery suspects. Cooperate and comply with their demands. Be a good witness. Sir, please get on your knees. Back of the head. That happens. Okay? No, I'm not going to comply. I'm going to fight back. That was it. And unfortunately, the lunatic liberal left in California has taken away everybody's means of fighting back. Again, I'll remind y'all, criminals don't follow the law. That's the definition of criminal, okay? Tell a criminal he can't have a weapon. What's he going to say to you? I don't care. You tell me whatever the hell you want. I'm still going to do it. Okay. So the only people that get punished in this are the citizens, the good guys, right? The bad guys don't care because the law doesn't matter to them anyway. So, making laws against the good guys does not do anything to deter the bad guys. I hate to tell you this, liberals, but that's kind of how it works. Okay. But this is where it's going, guys. And if you think right now, this is just going to be in Chicago, in New York, in LA. No, we saw last year Louisville, St. Louis, Portland, Seattle, Minneapolis, Dallas. I mean, pick a city, any of them. You're going to start seeing crap, especially with this Rittenhouse thing go down. It's going to be just like uh, George Floyd. It's just going to be like Ahmaud Arbery, or I forget the name of the one up in Kentucky. You know, Joy Reid on MSNBC, everybody's favorite racist race baiter, uh, apparently spent all day on Thursday saying that Rittenhouse is probably going to be acquitted because of his white privilege. No, he's going to be acquitted because his defense of self-defense is rock solid true. That's it. Somebody puts a weapon in his face, he shot back. He was just faster. That's self-defense. When the prosecution's witness says, yes, I was threatening him with a weapon on the stand, you know, like I said, your case is done. You know, you might have just waved a white flag. But guys, as a prepper, especially with this thing going on, this verdict coming down, be very, very, very careful of where you are. Be very observant. Head on a swivel. Stay safe and do whatever you can to protect yourself right now. Because, like I've said many times, one of these is going to be the shot heard around the world. This could be it. We don't know. Just want you all to stay safe. Pinball out.